Day 27 of 66 and 26. We're back in the New Testament book of Romans. This is St. Paul's letter to the Christians in Rome. One of the things that I especially appreciate about Paul is that he's a realist. He understands what it means to be human. And what it means to be human, and especially redeemed in Christ, is that there really are two natures at play in every one of us. There is a sinful nature that is still at work, and there's a renewed nature in the Spirit as we're redeemed in Christ that is also at work. And Paul says this in Romans chapter 7. He says there are two natures. There's my renewed nature, there's my sin nature, and they are battling it out each and every day. So Paul says, the good I want to do, I do not do. And what I hate, I do. This evil that I do not want to do, I keep on doing. And this is where I think Paul is such a realist. He knows that this is human nature. And sometimes we feel that we should be better by now. We should be rid of the anger. We should be rid of the greed or the lust, or we should be rid of all those pet sins, the habits that we form that really are not godly. And yet, here's Paul, who wrote 13 of the 27 books of the New Testament. Half of the books in the New Testament, Paul is responsible for. He is respected and has been respected by Christians throughout church history. And yet, here is this star of the Christian church who admits that he also is broken. He also is sinful. He also needs God's grace, which is good news for all of us, right? When we fail and we continually fall back into these same sins, we hear Paul's message. This is what I love. Romans 8:1. There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. If you are a believer in Jesus, you've been covered in the blood of Christ, clothed with Jesus' perfection, there is now no condemnation for you. Even when you fall into an old habit, even when you again sin in a way that you feel like you should be over by now. Paul points us to a future glory that far outweighs every struggle that we have in this life. He says, ultimately, there is nothing that will be able to separate us from the love of God that's in Christ Jesus. Not our own sin, not the devil, not the present, the past, or the future. No power in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus. That's our hope in Christ. That is our assurance that Paul brings us to in Romans 7 and 8 today.